Well, well, well. What do we have here, dude? Pat Riley finds two things in his couch, my friends: loose change and shooters. Cole Swider, welcome to Heat Nation, my friend. Wow. I mean, look, they talked about this guy. They said that this guy could shoot. I didn't know he could shoot. I mean, Bam Adebayo said this week at camp that of all the newcomer young individuals that were there, Cole was the guy that was shining out of anybody. And what he did today in that fourth quarter was nothing shy of electric. And they did it again. He said this to Jeremy Taché on the post-game walk-up. He goes, my agent picked the right spot. Lakers let me go, and they got me in the right spot. Now, Cole, unfortunately for you, because you're not a Laker, they're not going to rank you as one of the top 100 players the second you step foot on a court. Now you will go anonymous as one of those undrafted fellows for the next 3 years of your career. But my God, dude, what an absolute show this man put on in front of that preseason crowd today. Got that place buzzing, got the Peppers playing, and a little bit of a lackluster second half. You know, things weren't going as smoothly, and then he just absolutely explodes. And you could just see the I saw a little bit of this. I was not boots on the ground tonight, but I was there for the scrimmage the night beforehand. And certainly when the young guys play, there was a little bit more value in that than there was when the starters were out there, because those guys were playing willy-nilly. But Cole Swider was like, I mean, he was hitting, sidestep shots, pull-up shots. He was, hitting over two guys. I mean, his confidence was great. And he said the thing that has just been noticeable from every guy that walks in here is, you start off slow, and what is the thing they want you to do? Keep shooting. The worst thing that you could do as somebody trying to make the Miami Heat roster who has his skill set is get gun shy, and he was not afraid to pull the trigger tonight. 5 of 9 from downtown, 17 points, all in the fourth quarter. Just an absolutely impressive showing and a great first impression to everybody in Heat Nation, because I get it. Max, Gabe. I don't like what Heat Nation's doing with Max and Gabe, because I don't think we don't need to take a dump on those guys to make the extra point of people thinking the Heat won't be able to replace those guys, because they were tremendous here. Max Strus was a dog. Gabe Vincent was a dog. I am going to miss those guys. But the Heat developed those guys. When people were casting them off and saying no, when the Celtics and Bulls were saying Max Strus, you're no good, the Heat were the ones who harbored that. When Gabe Vincent was coming back from his knee injuries and was basically a shooting guard, the Heat harbored that, helping him become a point guard and becoming the player that he is. Yeah, there's going to be moments where you miss him, but what you saw tonight is Adam Simon, the scouting department of that team and that franchise, what they're able to do in finding people who come down here. And it's funny, you heard this on the broadcast, you've heard this in the lead up in camp of, guys like RJ Hampton, you're hearing it like guys with Cole Swider, and you hear it with even a guy like Thomas Bryant, where it's like they want to get into Miami's program because they know no matter what your background is, your pedigree is, you're going to get playing time and you're going to get your opportunity if you earn it. And it was really cool to see tonight. So Cole Swider, dude, that was really, really impressive. As far as the rest of the game was concerned, I would say, two guys you really have to highlight, from the starters' perspective. They started out, no Jimmy Butler tonight. So the starters were Bam, Hero, Jay Rich, Kevin Love, and Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry did start at point guard tonight. And, pretty quiet night from, pretty, under the radar nights for everybody. Bam was pretty efficient in his doings tonight. 13 points, 6 rebounds, got to the line, 6 times in 15 minutes. So thought Bam had a nice performance. Kevin Love, I mean, basically was out there for a jog and a hat tip. Jay Rich, got some time at point guard tonight, getting guys involved. I thought that he was trying to make his impact all over the place. It was cool to have him back, but his box score kind of was filled up all over the place. And I think that's probably what you want from him, just doing all the little stuff. Tyler was good tonight, 22 points in 24 minutes. He was 9 of 22 from downtown, 9 of 22 from the field, excuse me. He was 2 of 7 from downtown. Wouldn't say that we saw anything, not, anything new from Tyler Hero tonight, but, came out with that confidence, still has that, mid-range game, has that beautiful baby float. Not a particularly vicious night to get into the free throw line. He did get swatted in the face and bloodied his nose, so I don't know if that affected him a little bit because he looked like he took a really hard shot to the face, so give him a little bit of grace on that too. I don't know what that was with the Hornets tonight. The Hornets were smacking, by my count, I think 5 Heat players got hit in the face. I think it was him. Josh Richardson got hit in the face, had a foul called on him, the old Goron. Drew Smith, Haywood Highsmith, I think, took a licking, and Kyle Lowry took an elbow to the face. I don't know what the Hornets were coming in today playing like John Bones Jones. It was very, very strange. So, yeah, that was your starting unit tonight. Duncan Robinson, he was ice cold today from all over the place. Didn't nail a field goal, didn't hit a 3. He was 0-6. But, I think from rotational guys who can have a role, things that stood out. Haywood Highsmith hit a couple from downtown, including one deep. He had 3 steals. He was really impactful in his minutes tonight. He's obviously going to try and carve some things out. And mind you, this is a game tonight where no Jimmy, no Caleb Martin. So 2 guys that, well, obviously Jimmy's, your star. Caleb's definitely going to play. And you had a lot of guys play tonight, and I think that I came out of this is like, man, I think what Spo said is right. This team does look really, really deep because there's a lot of guys you're intrigued by playing, and that's including, a guy on a exhibition 10 contract who basically won you the game tonight. But didn't see a lot of Nikola Jović tonight. Only gave you 7 minutes, only took a shot, did have a nice weak side block. Couple rebounds. This is only played 7 minutes, so didn't get much from Jović tonight. The guy who played, really well out of the young guys was, and looks like he's just going to fit in right away, was Jaime Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez, at points was running point for the Heat. He had he had his footwork has been taught about. I mean, dude, his footwork is breathtakingly good. But he had this one move in the first half. I'm sure you've seen it on Bally Sports Heat. If you haven't, go check it out. But he's got some beautiful footwork. He definitely, I don't want to say he plays at his own pace because I don't feel like he plays slow, but I feel like once he gets into the paint, he's going to dictate that stuff on his terms. And definitely looked like a guy very comfortable in the moment, played with the starters, basically, ran point for the young guys afterwards. That was mixed up between him and Drew Smith. I know a lot of people got on Drew Smith tonight. Drew Spo always says everyone's going to define you by what you did in the last column. I mean, he did have 4 steals tonight. He was disruptive at certain points. I do think that offensively he does look like he presses, but I think for him, I think with him, he's been in the program. Spo mentioned the other day, the last day of camp, that he wants to reward guys for how hard they're playing in certain moments. I think this was one of Drew's showcases because he's been with the Heat, and I do think they like his character a lot, and I think that you could see he does a lot of the hard, gritty stuff. It's just a matter of getting those easy finishes around the rim because they look like they're there, But it definitely felt like when Jaquez was controlling things and getting guys involved and kicking things, he was really just comfortable out there, just really comfortable, and looks like he's going to be a contributor, man. Looks like he's going to be a contributor for this Miami Heat team. You could just kind of feel it. He's just a vibe, dude. Like I mean, like Jaime Jaquez, I don't know if it's the hair, the pace, the footwork. the confidence that he plays with. He looks like he's just got something to him when he steps onto that court. So, people always go with him with the shooting thing. He only took one attempt from downtown tonight. A lot of guys that he idolize aren't shooters. Those are not like the guy. I think everybody gets a little bit crazy with that. So like we'll see what what he turns into from that standpoint. But I think that he's going to show himself to be able to fill in a lot of different roles for this team, whatever they need. Kind of similar to what Jović is doing. I mean, maybe not like not a bad defender, but not like, the give of maybe like the fluidity and footwork that he has, where Jović is going to give you the tenacity and the defense and all that. But I think those are kind of, Jović, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin are kind of going to do, and Haywood Highsmith are probably going to be like, you're do everything. What do you need from me tonight? But I think like a guy like Haywood Highsmith, like if you look at a guy like Haywood Highsmith, is been insane about having to hit these threes, because if he hits these threes, there's no way he's not going to play, because he's just that good of a defender. He's that talented of a defender. But Jaime just looked like, he just seemed like he fit in seamlessly with everybody. Everybody just enjoyed playing with him, dude. So that was very noticeable. And then I think, honestly, dude, before Cole Swider took over that fourth quarter and electrified, and yes, it was against, the guys trying to make the roster 2 for the Hornets. I get you. But the guy who's really going to have an impact, there's no doubt about this, and was, I think, far and away the Heat's best player tonight, was Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant for the Miami Heat. I don't even know what to do with my hands, dude. To have a backup center like this, a backup big for the Miami Heat, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it was not only the fact that, okay, we know that Thomas Bryant comes in, he's a very offensively talented big, but, people knock the defense, people can knock the effort sometimes, I guess. He was playing his ass off today. He had the play of the game, which was sick block on LaMelo Ball, takes the basketball, heaves it down the court to Josh Richardson for a slam. Play of the game. It was absolutely awesome. But he was just running his ass off. He was setting screens, freed up Tyler Hero at points. Looked like a guy that wasn't going to relent and let any thought of Orlando Robinson creep in there and take his job. And I think he's probably had the leg up anyway coming into this thing. But, man, you think about the other backup bigs they've had coming in for Bam Adebayo, and it's like hold your breath. And if they can have anybody legitimately give him some ease, obviously no one's going to be the defender Bam is. And I'm going to do another video on Spo's rant today about Bam Adebayo and his defense, because he was slapped in the face by this lack of recognition from the GMs. But, you think about Deadman, Zeller, and just some of the guys they've tried to throw in there, and you're just like, can we survive with this guy out there? And Thomas Bryant, man, I know it's preseason, but his first impressions, he was so good all over the place. So, yeah, man, a lot of interesting stuff in this first preseason game, but obviously Cole Swider stole the show there and stole the game back from the Hornets, who looked like they were going to put this thing in cruise control. He took it right back from him with his insane shooting performance. Jaime Jaquez looks just as advertised. Thomas Bryant, better than advertised, I'd say. Want to see a little bit. I hope Spo can get Jović in there a little bit more the next time around. And, I don't think anything was earth-shattering from the regs, the regular guys. I think that the preseason is always a young man's game and newcomers game. And I think all those, I can't say anybody who wasn't new between Jović, Thomas Bryant, Swider, Jaquez, everybody was pretty impressive tonight.